Hey everybody, it's Ned Crash and welcome to another episode of Ned Consumes the World. This is now technical episode 4, I believe, Meta CC4. So yeah, and today we're joined by Geckomayhem. How's it going?
It is going very well, thank you. I have just come off a 2-hour stream. Had to cut my stream short for your sake.
Oh, thank you. Many thanks.
All good, man. I'll consider it part of my streaming time, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Now you are for those of us in the States, you are technically from the future, right?
I am. It is Thursday for me.
It's Thursday.
It is Thursday.
That's so wild. But really the time difference isn't that bad, what we were talking about. It's not as bad as the UK.
No, it's not. UK's basically flipped around, and so if I wanted to coordinate anything with people in Europe and the UK, it's so hard because I'm asleep when they're doing stuff and they're asleep when I'm doing stuff.
Yeah.
So I've never actually been on the Godforge podcast. They did invite me, but it was going to be 3 a.m. in the morning. So I could stay up all night for the sake of it, but I said, look, get back to me if the time changes, if you have a bit more flexibility. And they were cool about it, but they said no guarantees. So I've been itching to go on their podcast, but time zones, right?
Well, yeah, for sure. They're an 8-hour difference for me, I think, which isn't that bad. But like I remember one of my previous roles in life, I was doing software demos for India and China. And that was definitely like set an alarm, wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, do a demo, go to sleep.
Yeah, it's rough if you have to handle early morning stuff or really late night.
Yeah. Have you done a Twitch subathon where you try to just like stay up for 12 or 24 hours or whatever?
I've never done a really long Twitch stream. No. I'm getting too old for that. But really, maybe one day. I was considering it for what I'm doing at the moment. So at the moment on Twitch, from yesterday, so I play World of Warcraft still.
Okay.
And WoW has about 5 different versions at the moment.
Yeah.
And at the moment, they have this version that's temporarily being run, and it's called Remix. And it's with the Legion X-Pack, which was, I think, their 7th X-Pack? Whatever it was around 2016. It was circa 2016 when Legion came out, which was a fantastic experience. The game was very different from original, but the remix, basically the premise is that it's a fast-paced, fun version. So you just get more and more powerful. You roll a new character, and you just get all this borrowed power, and it just keeps increasing infinitely. So eventually, by the end of it, you'll be so powerful, you'll be able to solo mythic level raids.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Technically. So it came out yesterday. I got a Demon Hunter to level 45 by today, and it's been pretty fun so far. Nothing super significant. I set the world to heroic version, so enemies have way more health and hit harder. But yeah, so far I'm not at the point where I'm starting to just ramp up the power in there. It's going to take days, weeks, whatever. You got 3 months to do it. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I've been streaming Legion Remix.
That's really interesting. I stopped my last WoW experience around midway through Burning Crusades Classic. So I didn't do Wrath when it came back out, but I haven't been keeping up with it, right? But one thing that I had noticed was like some of the things that were successful with Diablo, they were like implementing into WoW and vice versa. And they were really starting to blend even like ability names and mechanic concepts. But what you're saying is like, I set the world to heroic. I've only got 3 months. In a different world, I think you're talking about Diablo 4, right? Like, it's clearly borrowing the mechanics.
It's borrowing that from that. I don't know where they originally got the idea for these remixes from. This is the second remix they've done. The first one they did was Mists of Pandaria, and that was so fun. I was running in with a friend into heroic raids, like end game raids, and just annihilating everything. It was crazy. Wow. You were so powerful. You felt like a god with just this one character that was just, and the speed as well. Like you get speed boosts, and you would just speed at like double speed, triple speed, literally speed running the dungeons. It was super fun. It was like WoW on crack. It was so they've brought it back. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. How long have you been playing WoW? Were you like an OG when it first came out?
OG, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't play it the day it dropped, which was November 2004. But my brother got it for his birthday in 2005. So it was about 6 months. So it's about patch 1.4, I think, maybe patch 1.5 of OG Classic. Yeah. So we started playing that together, my brother and and I rolled a hunter as my first character. And from 2005 onwards, I just played every expansion that came out up until Battle for Azeroth, which was, I think, their 8th expansion. It was after Legion anyway. I just quit at the start. I just gave up on the game. It had changed way too much. There was no real social interaction anymore. And that's excuse me, I'm really itchy at the moment.
No worries.
That's something that my guild and I, my current guild and I have been talking about quite a bit is, what makes us play this game? Why are we still playing it? Why are we playing this particular version? So actually I'm playing the classic Mists of Pandaria, which is part of the classic franchise, which started in 2019, and they started playing through all of the WoW expansions, and they're up to the 5th version, so the 4th expansion, which is Mists of Pandaria, and that's what we're currently progging in at the moment. So we're trying to learn heroic raids and raid mechanics in that. So we're raiding Wednesday and Thursday nights for us, and yeah, one of the things that we've been talking about is what actually keeps us in this game, and it is just the guild. It is just our mates. It is just the people we've got to know, we're hanging out with, we want to spend time with, and do something together.
Yeah. I think that's a big theme, right? I mean, that was kind of the draw of MMOs to begin with. And especially, I remember, like, I go back to the first one I played was Dark Ages of Camelot.
Oh, wow.
Which was post EverQuest, but pre-WoW.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting people from all over the world. There's like this German guy that I remember playing with who was hilarious. And it was at a time where you didn't really like trust internet people, So my entire relationship with these people was just in the context of the game.
That's right.
And then nothing more. And then I met one of my best friends because of WoW. We ended up becoming roommates. But I remember when we met up in person the first time, it was super weird. We were both like, is the other person an axe murderer or something like that? Totally normal. Everything was great. And then, we became good friends for a long time.
Have you met other people through the game?
I've met a couple
of the MMOs that you,
Mostly WoW players. I'm trying to think if I've met anybody else. We're close. We might meet up with somebody from one of the Discords that I belong to this weekend. We're doing a fall trip out into the mountains of Washington. So there's a guy that lives out there who's in one of the Discords. But we'll see if the timing shakes out. But I think everybody else that I've met was because of WoW, honestly.
That's cool.
And I was
one person.
One person, yeah.
Yeah. You just happen to live in the same city as me, so.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't imagine that you have a tremendous amount of New Zealanders in your guild, but also you would have to kind of arrange the time of day for raiding.
Yeah, that's right.
So the time zone change is going to affect things.
Yeah, it's mostly Australians. I'd say probably 80% Australian, 20% New Zealand. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so WoW, this is really funny because the last two podcast episodes, for anybody who's been listening, both AJ and why does it escape me right off the top of Kurzad? Both AJ and Kurzad were also WoW players, and I'm seeing this like trend of like WoW to raid to Godforge.
Yep. WoW was huge, man. It peaked at 12 million subscribers at the end of Wrath. Might not have been the end of Wrath. I think it was the middle of Wrath of the Lich King, which was their second expansion. That was their big hurrah, right? Yeah. 12 million it peaked, and it never reached that again. But it's still got millions of subscribers, just split across, like I said, about 5 different versions of the game.
Yeah, that's they've almost shot themselves in the foot with the diversification, but like they kind of had to, right? Because core release X-Pack like wasn't going anywhere. It was a downhill slope.
No, and modern WoW doesn't appeal to us old schoolers. I mean, there are some people who like the challenge of it. It is challenging. It's hard. If you look at the talent trees, they're totally different to what it used to be. There have been 3 different versions of the talent trees. The MOP to Legion era ones were very simplified, and then now it's this network of your class and your specialization within your class, and it's this whole tree of these intricate bits and pieces. It's a lot more complicated. The mechanics are a lot more complicated in retail WoW. I don't think I've got the focus and the skill to do mythic raiding in any way. I mean, our Mr. Pandaria progression, heroic progression, has been really tough so far, because a lot of us are in our 40s. Not all of us, but a lot of us are guys in our 40s or women in their 40s who played WoW back in the day and have come back for the whole classic experience. And I mean, a lot of people have families and responsibilities and that, and so they can't put in a lot of sweaty time, but they also don't want to be sweaty players. They don't want to be, hardcore chads that try to pass at 100% or whatever, right? Most people want to be there to hang out with each other and overcome challenges, and there's still enough of a challenge for us, so we enjoy it.
That's how many of those people have been playing, like, for the long haul? Like, how old is that guild?
It's so this guild was started for one of the versions of WoW called Season of Discovery, and so Eversoft and Blizzard puts out a seasonal version of classic WoW, and it's kind of their roadmap towards what they're calling Classic Plus, which is OG WoW with a spin that just expands the whole gamut of your experience. And so SOD, Season of Discovery, it ran from 2023 until earlier this year. So I think it was the very end of 2023, ran for about 18 months. So it ran for about 18 months, and it was split into 6 phases. And so I started a guild at the very start of SOD on day 1, and I just started looking for Kiwis and Aussies to come and join the guild, and we just built a player base. Some of those OG guild members are still playing now with us in Remix and MOP.
Gotcha,
Not a heap, but some of them are. A lot of people disappeared. We've got new people. We've built our raid team with people we didn't know before now. Some people have been in it for 2 weeks. Some people have been in it for 3 months. It's an absolute mix of people. Yeah.
I played Season of Discovery up to, I don't know, maybe level 50. I didn't cap out. I remember I didn't cap out, but
Phase 3.
It was a lot of fun.
A lot of people quit during Phase 3 because they extended it too much. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It's just I feel maybe schizophrenic about gaming these days, or maybe ADD is a better word. It's just like we're overloaded. It's just constant. Here's a new game. Here's a new game. Here's a new game. And when indie really took off, now you look on Steam, you're not even looking at AAA titles, right? You're just like, oh, get the Assassin's Creed off my monitor, right? Like, what's this Undertale sequel or something like that, right? And there's too much to play. And then you get something like Raid or Godforge, and I'm sure Godforge is going to be this way to some extent, but especially Raid, where it takes up all your dang time, and then your backlog of, like, especially single player experiences just becomes this pile that you'll never get to. So
yeah, that's the thing with me and Raid. We had a bit of a love-hate relationship. So I actually played Raid Shadow Legends from way OG. I played it pre-release. I played the beta 2018.
Oh, interesting.
So
how did you find out about it?
September 2018. Play Store. The Play Store went, hey, you might like this game. And it was like, Raid Shadow Legends beta. And I was like, that's a dumb name. Raid Shadow Legends. I still don't understand why they named it that, but still, so it grabbed my attention, and I started looking, and I was like, dude, is this on? Can they do this on mobile? I was playing through the starting bit there. I was like, this is incredible. The graphics for a mobile game. I can play this on the train on my way to work. I can play it at home in between chores. I can whatever, right? I can just put some time into it, and I started putting more and more time into it, and I realized how much of a time sink it was. And started a clan and joined another clan and started progressing, and I was a free-to-play player, but I was stacked, man. I had like 100 legendaries, and it was just the time I put in. If you played for 6 years, even though it was on and off, right? I played for probably 2 or 3 years, and then I quit, and then I came back, and then I quit, and then I came back and forth. I used to be part of the Deadwood Jedi community.
Cool.
I was in his clan and his cluster, and I used to chat with him a bit about stuff, and I was really into building clan boss teams and trying to understand how the clan boss worked, and this was pre-Hydra, pre-Chimera. So I was part of that community, and that was really cool, just learning so much more about how the stats in the game worked and how to properly build stuff. And then we got the Hell Hades artifact extractor, we got the tool, and we were able to just go in and not have to manually compare stuff anymore, and let the system do it for you mechanically and work out, hey, I should put this gear on this particular character in this particular composition to overcome this challenge. But definitely it kept me challenged as well. Raid, every time I came back, I would have to try to learn a new challenge, like the Shogun, Phantom Shogun, and the Sand Devil. So I had a duo Sand Devil team with Godseeker Neri and Newt.
Ninja? Oh, okay, Newt.
Nope.
Yeah.
I did not have. Okay, don't talk about Ninja. I never got him. I missed it every single time.
Stepped away, came back, and missed out both times.
Every single time. Missed Ninja, missed Tormund, missed Rotos, I missed Ultimate Death Knight. Yeah. I don't want to talk about Raid too much, but it's kind of the base of my gacha games, of my hero collector RPGs on mobile. That's kind of my biggest experience, and I've streamed a couple of free-to-play series as well, so it was fun. Are you planning learning stuff?
Are you planning on doing a free-to-play in Godforge?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's how I roll.
Only free-to-play?
I'm only a free-to-play player for mobile games.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. If I have time for it, I want to run 2 accounts, right? I want to run one where I'm buying shards, whatever they call it, right? Yeah. And then one where I'm doing a free-to-play challenge. But, we'll see how much time there is in the day, right? I hope that it doesn't take 6 hours a day plus like Raid did,
Yes, I'm hoping that it will be time-friendly. Only time will tell, but they have that ethos, right? So from the beginning, the development team has held on to this ethos of, we do not want you to feel like things are a chore. We don't want you to feel like you have to log in every day. And we don't want you to feel like this is a 5-hour time sink and you have to farm overnight. Now, the alpha was all about farming overnight.
Oh, yeah.
But that's because it was squished, right? It was absolutely squished into a 10-day period, especially Alpha 3, which was competitive. It was... If you want to come out on top, you have to, if you want a trip to Vegas, hey guys, this huge prize, trip to Vegas, you need to actually put in a lot of effort, a lot of time. And that's why the two biggest clans that formed at that time were working together to try and help each other overcome these particular challenges so that somebody could end up being on top. I joined a clan a bit too late. I didn't actually manage in Alpha 3 to do terribly well, but I fulfilled my goals.
Got the coin.
I got the coin. I mean, it's obviously hasn't been sent out yet, but I got in the top 500, which was my aim. Not just the top 1,000. I wanted to try really hard to be in the top 500, and I did. I was like 400 and something, I think, at the end, by the time I hit 151. And I wanted to try to get all 300 stars. I got 296.
Oh wow. That's really good.
Yeah,
that really is good. Did you get the one with 2 rares? Did you get that one? Use only 2 rares. It was like 147 or something like that.
Probably. I missed out on the Tian one, so that was I think 145 maybe. So the Tian only, I could not crack it. I just could not figure it out. Pangu just wasn't behaving for me. Shishi, their Quillen type lion dog thing, Useless champion in my opinion. I could not get Shishi to function, and Pangu would never counterattack, even though the description said Tian allies will counterattack. Ally attack. He never went in.
The Shishi ally attack was broken. Yeah,
did not work, and so I just couldn't crack that one. And there were a couple more, and then there was Fafnir.
Yeah.
But I actually got the 120 Golden Guardian stars. So.
Oh wow.
That was
a tough one too.
Yeah, that was hard.
my goal modified as I played. I had no idea what Alpha Wave 3 was going to be like, but I was able to start like the moment it went live, and I got into alpha chat. It was a lot of fun. Everybody was hyped, and it became apparent to me pretty quickly that I had no shot at getting to 151 first.
No, exactly right. You got to be realistic, man. You got to be realistic. I knew that I was going to start way later than everyone because it started at 3 a.m. in the morning. Like, I don't start streaming till 10. That's a 7-hour gap.
Yeah.
So I was 7 or 8 hours behind everyone that had started from the get-go. I'm sure Draco Joker started right then as well. So if you don't know, Draco Joker's the guy that got the top score on Fafnir 151. He was the one that got 4 billion or whatever the real score, not the crazy trillions scores that people were getting. But
did you join ELT before or after the final?
Basically after everything was said and done. So I know Zav, who started ELT, and I mean, he's been on my stream, and I've chatted with him about all sorts of things Godforge related. He was really busy because he's a mod on their Discord, and so we didn't have a lot of interaction through it. I was just trying to solve things on my own and try to get things, but I noticed that people were joining these pantheons, and so I asked about it. I said, how come you guys are part of a pantheon now? What's the deal? I must have missed it in Discord chat, right? So they said, it's blah blah blah, do you want to join ELT, which is Control Alt Elite, it's called, which I thought was a pretty clever name, Control Alt Elite, and I liked the ELT tag in there, and I thought these guys, they know what they're doing, and it's got some heavy hitters in there. So I joined them afterwards.
It's a good group. I was asking because you were talking about Draco's run. We were all in voice. It was like me, Draco, Black Wolf, I think Zav or Tamib was in there. Yep. But what was funny was like I had given up on it. I was like, the hive mind has it down and we can't figure out the tech, so I'm going to bed. But I was like, I'm gonna wake up early enough that I could have one more run if I want. So I woke up, I think, an hour and a half before or I got online an hour and a half before the servers went down, and Draco was in his run, and Black was talking about the Lady Zoc tech, and I was like, I gotta try it. So I swapped it out, and Sham and Simon jumped into our voice chat, and I was streaming my run, but I couldn't get the darn run to work. I couldn't get the everybody to die off quick enough, and then I got everybody to die off, and then I made a mistake and Brynhild died. If I hadn't made that one mistake, I think I would have gotten a run in. But Draco just went off with his run. So
little bit of luck, but I think a lot of support there.
The whole group was helping each other out. It was awesome.
I wasn't able to jump in voice because whenever I was playing, I was streaming, and I didn't want to clash Discord voice with my stream, even though I could have deleted the VODs afterwards just to keep people happy privacy wise. It just didn't feel right to me to be streaming the game and being my engaging streaming self while also having Discord on the side, because I've tried this with WoW stuff. So yesterday when we kicked off Legion Remix, or what's endearingly called Lemix, I was in my guild's Discord.
Okay. I was wondering, I was like, what game is that?
Lemix is Legion Remix, and Memix was Mop Remix. So I was in Discord yesterday while streaming, and so I had my rambunctious guild members there chatting away and that. And one of the things that is really noticeable for me, I don't swear. Okay, I don't swear in real life. I'm a Christian. I just have religious reasons for not swearing. I like to let the words that come out of my mouth be of good value and peace and all that. So I don't swear. especially not on stream. But my guild members are Aussies. And so my Twitch stream yesterday was very flavorful and very noticeably so, but I let it be, I let it run, and it just added more flavor and more variety and more life to my initial Lemix stream. So yeah, real different to have Discord happening there at the same time as streaming. For me, it's a totally different vibe. And so yeah, while the Godforge alpha was running, or all of the alphas, I was just streaming them and keeping Discord off to the side. Every so often checking Discord for messages and whatnot, but more often than not, I wished that I'd been able to join in on voice. I really did wish that I could hop in and find out what you guys were talking about and what was actually going on. But I was blind to a lot of what was being solved and what was being discovered, and all the features of the alpha, the bugs, right?
the features.
And I reported a lot of stuff myself. I put through reports at the end of every alpha. I had kept track of all sorts of stuff. I pulled video from my VODs. I took screenshots of stuff, and I just fed back. And yeah, it is what it is. They'll get to a lot of that, and it will take them time to get to it. But I just had faith that they would read my tickets, and they did. I mean, I got a lot of tickets closed, and they actually, the community team actually went through and they checked a lot of tickets and whatnot, and I got a lot of feedback on stuff. So yeah, really engaging, wasn't it? It was very engaging.
It was a lot of fun. It was a really cool experience. I'm assuming, I'm not gonna have anything like that for a long time, if ever again, because I've never seen a company do that before, where, I mean, sure, people have alphas and betas, but to gamify the game with the competition and whatnot. And then I've never, just joined a company's Discord and gotten into voice chat. That was kind of like a different experience for me. So to talk with all these different people like Sage and Shadow and Pawncakes and Tez about the game, and then see how everybody's kind of developing. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do this series, was to learn more about the people, because this community is really cool. I've talked a lot with everybody that I've talked to so far about how because the community was so rich in Raid Shadow Legends, the content creator community, it's almost like this layer of like people who've been there, they're experts in the field, they're starting their own game, and now they're fostering that for like another generation. It feels really cool. And I mean, 5 years removed, right? Not like 20 years removed, but it's a really interesting place to be. Now, tell me a little bit more about how you got into the content creation piece. Was this during Raid or WoW, and now Godforge is just a natural progression, or did you start because of Godforge?
Yeah, so a bit of both. So I had done a little bit of content creation with Raid stuff, and it was very amateur. I did a video on Nishak the Rat King way back when that was a fusion. I did the bomb champ, right? Yeah, the bomb champ. I did just a little bit of content here and there. I did a hardcore WoW series. Oh, okay. So for people that don't know, one of the other versions of World of Warcraft is vanilla, the vanilla world, but hardcore. And so there are official hardcore servers. But I did my hardcore series pre-official. So this was when there was a community, a hardcore community, which actually led to the development of official hardcore servers. But pre-official, there was this add-on that you could install, and it was the hardcore death add-on. And basically it would tell you if anybody died on the server that was running the hardcore challenge, and you had to record every step of your journey. You had to record it so that the moderators could review it to make sure that you didn't cheat, even though the add-on could track deaths, and if you died, that's it. You had to re-roll. You had to delete your character and re-roll. Yeah, they wanted us to record it, and I went, well, I might as well turn this into videos. And so I recorded my hardcore journey, and I did some videos, and I actually have this clip of my paladin almost dying at level 46 or something, and I show people that clip every so often, and they're like, oh my gosh, that was so close. Yeah, I was in one of the dungeons and I was asking about opening these graves that these zombies come out of, and they're like, yeah, just click on maybe 3 or 4 of them. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I started opening them, and they started just hitting me really hard. And and everybody freaked out because I went down to probably 5% health or something. It was really good. It was fun. There were certain moments like that, right? And a lot that I learned about how to play hardcore, but also making videos. And so I decided to make some raid videos because I loved raid and I was into raid. I don't get a lot of views on my videos, but then when I started following Godforge because Hell Hades was obviously one of the creators that I had followed for however long he'd been streaming and making videos, and I was impressed with his video content and how often it was put out and how much was in it, and the artifact extractor like we talked about before, and the Hell Hades website and what that did for the community. And I just saw Godforge from the beginning. I went, yeah, you know what? So Simon's making a game and he knows what he's doing because he left his day job to become a full-time creator. And that's a big step for people. And now there's this game coming along and they're going to improve on what Raid has done, right? They're going to take the lessons from having played it and experienced it and complained about it and the values and all of that, and they're going to make something. And I just went, I was thinking about it, you know, maybe I can make more and more content, and it looks like there's enough content here to continue churning out. And so I just started making Godforge content and making Godforge videos, and there wasn't anything to stream. I just kept streaming a bit of WoW and a bit of Raid, and then when we got news about the alphas, I went, well, there's something I can actually stream that is Godforge related. It's not just screenshots and pictures of the latest model that they're putting into the game. It's actually some play through that we can engage with. And so I streamed every alpha and I made videos. So last alpha, the third alpha, the final one, I actually made daily videos from my VOD. And I took some of my Twitch VOD and I just cut it up and turned it into my progress for the day and what I'd achieved and the star count and what I was going for, and just tried to make it into 5 to 10 minute videos that were just a recap of each day of the alpha. I also did a legendary and epic tier list. So that was another couple of videos I put out, was the tier lists from, I think it was from Alpha 2, and then I was able to compare that in Alpha 3 to say what had changed and where I sat with each of these, especially the legendaries, where I sat with each of the champions. So Aphrodite was S tier in Alpha 2, and Alpha 3 she was only just A tier, only just. I was so disappointed with what they did to her. I don't know how they broke her, but I couldn't use her anymore. And I got Zeus really late, like really late in Alpha 3. I'd already completed Fafnir by the time Zeus dropped. But then I went, I'm going to play with him a bit, and I'm going to test him against my impression of him from Alpha 2. Zeus was not as good as Alpha 2 as well. I don't think they changed him. I just didn't have as good an experience.
Well, honestly, if Aphrodite got nerfed, he got nerfed, right? Because Aphrodite lead, I mean, they were just stacking extra turns and extra attacks. It was wild.
It was so good. It was so good. I was soloing everything with Zeus in Alpha 2. And then Alpha 3, I was bringing in YDG for certain things, and I was... Oh, Hell was so good. Hell was S tier, man. I think she was slept on. I don't think many content creators or many people understood just how good a Slayer Hell actually was. She was buggy. She was 100% buggy with the animations when she rezzed them with her ultimate. Her ultimate is so cool. I had fun with it. I just had fun.
I was watching your video, I think of your last day, where like when you got the 150 clear, and you're just sitting there like, oh, please res them again. Please res them again. And then they're counter-attacking each other, and you're like, oh, it's my favorite. I love it.
Yeah. It's so good. Yeah, they did some fun stuff for us. They put some fun things in there. I was a little disappointed with Drac. I think he was B tier. I think I ranked him as B tier in Alpha 2, but in Alpha 3, he was good. He felt a little bit stronger, especially when I did the Virage 132 2-star. the Virage one, that was tough, but I found it a little bit easier because I over prepared this time to get the 2-star on that. Maria, pretty good for a rare champion. Just too squishy. She was just too squishy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reorganized where some of these champions sat in terms of my impressions with them and how I'd got to play with them through Alpha 3. And I think I got every legendary this time. Whereas Alpha 2, I was missing Hercules and Horus, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 15 out of 17. And then this time I got Hercules really late again. Didn't get to play with him pre-150, I don't think. I wasn't terribly impressed with him because I didn't understand what he was doing. Like, his ultimate is just him charging himself up, and I'm like, okay, that's great. And then they're dead on the next round, so what was the point? Like, yeah. I think he'll find a better place. He's a pain to go against, right? He was a pain in the other lineup, but I think when the full game comes out, I mean, obviously it'll throw everything to the wind because there will be different modes and, you know, things that you need for this problem and that problem. Yeah, exactly. There'll be a lot more challenges, a lot more things to overcome, a lot more to learn, a lot more complexity, not just the imprint system and the way that the gear works. The fact that this was a vertical slice, right? They called it an MVP. This was way better than an MVP. This was a moderate viable product. This was not a minimum viable product, man. But it was a vertical slice, and it was literally vertical. You were going down into the cavern, right? It was a vertical slice of gameplay in a testing environment, as we all know, and we got to see so much of how the 66 champions or whatever it is that they put in actually functioned and engaged with each other, and a little bit of the system. I wish I'd been able to sell weapons. I wish I'd been able to break weapons down into God steel. That was one of the biggest asks from the community, I think.
Just a filter, just better filtering. Not having to like level a weapon up so that you knew which one you wanted to feed.
Yeah,
right?
No, that was the workaround, right? That was the workaround. Hey, how did you get past level 142?
142, I still had not discovered Maria. And I never got Zeus in Wave 3. I never got Zeus, so I never had an easy way out of anything. So I think I just brute forced my way through 142 with some combination of my primary champs, which was Shamash, Pangu, and Isis. And then the fourth was kind of swapping in and out. So I can't remember if I used Mordred for CC or if I just took another damage dealer in and just like beat it, you know. But
probably a damage dealer.
149, that was my first video. I couldn't get through 149. I didn't have the damage to get through the last wave with the 2 Isises. So that's why I made the first video, because I just went hunting for a kit. And I don't think anybody, certainly in all the voice chats I was in, nobody was talking about Maria. And so I was like, I'm looking for a kit that can deal with this double Isis nonsense. And when I saw Maria's kit, I was like, oh, okay, so damage scaling on buffs. That's a lot of buffs. But I didn't even know at that time that for the damage of the AoE, it sees all the buffs, not like per champion. So when you have both Isises and Kets, you know, throw up like 12 buffs on every single person, and something was broken with her multipliers, you know, I hit AoE and it did like 500,000 damage to everybody. And I was like, oh, gosh. Okay, well, that's
easy. I didn't
easy.
know that. I didn't know that till now. Okay, I didn't use Maria. I had no idea she was stacking the buffs instead of focusing buff, because it was AoE. It probably went, how many buffs in total? I'm AoE. How many buffs are on the team? And then there wasn't an AoE penalty. There's supposed to be an AoE penalty. For that amount. I didn't realize that. I brute forced 149. So 142, I can't remember how I got through it, but I would have probably used Mordred. He was, for me in Alpha 2, he was king of the hill. He was awesome in Wave 2. Yeah. Skadi was fantastic in Wave 2. Skadi was very strong in Wave 3 as well, again. A little bit unpredictable, but Skadi was kind of my go-to if Mordred wasn't in the mix. One of Mordred's things didn't work, and that was, I think it says on his ultimate that he's supposed to increase the despair, or whatever it's called, by one turn, and it didn't. It never did. They had 1-1-1-1. He did it, still 1-1-1-1. Did not increase the confusion or whatever. But yeah, 142, I can't completely remember how I got past it, but I would have fully CC'd and whatnot. But 149, I just double nuked, man. I just went hell plus YDG, and I just saved their ultimates. I just stacked them up, and I just nuked the heck out of those Isises and that Cats, and just I just brute forced 149, and I got through it without too much trouble.
Oh, nice.
Probably tried 2 or 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a couple of runs. It was like 10 to 15 minute runs, and I was like, this just isn't working. I would have been streaming it, right? And I was just like frustrated on stream. I was just like, I got frustrated with certain parts of the game at certain times. Not just the bugs. I can't imagine
on the stars. I would have gotten so frustrated trying to get some of those 2 stars.
A lot of patience, a lot of working it out myself, and a little bit of help from a couple of viewers. So I had one of my viewers. He was just giving me hints, and I was like, I just can't solve this one that required you to use 10 ultimates with 2. I think it was 10 ultimates and 2 champions or something. And I was just like, I cannot figure it out. I've tried this combination and this combination and this combination. I thought Skadi got ultimates all the time. I thought Mordred got ultimates all the time. I thought I could control them. I ended up doing it with Velk, Brunhild, Brunhild and Heimdall. Maybe. So Heimdall hit hard. Heimdall hit, he hit hard, man.
Both ultimates don't do damage, right? So both ultimates are just essentially burning a turn and buying survivability.
Yeah, well, that's right. And so Heimdall brought the damage to actually finish off the Musashis and whatnot. But Brunhild came and brought that survivability with her radiance and shields. I can't remember what she does because I barely used Brun. I only brought her in for that stage.
At least on Fafnir, the way that our comp worked was that her radiance blocked direct damage. So the bug there was that once she had radiance at a certain stage, it was like after 25 turns or something. And I don't know if this applied to waves, but for Fafnir, any of the swipes or just straight up direct damage just did nothing. So the only damage you took was acid ticks.
I didn't know about all of these workarounds and stuff that people had discovered. I was oblivious to everything the community was discovering. I was just trying stuff. What did you get
on your high damage run?
I didn't do a high damage run. I just did 151 to get my coin. And
okay.
And then I came back on the last day and I went, I'm just going to chuck some champions at Fafnir to see if I get a higher score than the 10 million or whatever I got on my first run. Probably got 20-30 million.
Okay, that's a good score.
It increased my score. I think it was double. I think it was 14 million and then I got 28 million. It was something like that. It was it was basically double my score. But I didn't really put a lot of effort into figuring out what would stack and what would work really well against Fafnir. I had Isis, obviously. She was there to keep everyone alive. She's a very strong champ, definitely S tier Isis.
She's really good. It's funny because we had all these kind of top of my list things that I want. I hope I get this in retail or whatever. But I think the reality is like you just get one legendary and you're going to be excited, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're going to be so rare once the game actually launches.
Unless it's Loki, and then delete your account.
Reroll.
Reroll your account if you get Loki. Yeah, toss him in the trash. Nah, he was actually niche. All right, he was a bit like Dagonet, right? Niche for a niche part of the game, and I'm sure that Loki will be helpful somewhere, some way. Mm-hmm. And whether you can awaken a legendary or not could make a bit of a difference. And like Brad was talking about on one of their podcasts a few weeks ago, they wanted feedback on the awakenings because some of those awakenings are pretty mediocre. It's the ones in between where it's plus 15 divinity.
It's not exciting. You're just
they threw it in for the alpha. I think they did. I think they just threw it in for the alpha. Remember in Alpha 2, I think Sphinx's awakenings were broken. I don't know if you got to play with Sphinx in Alpha 2, but
Sphinx almost fully awakened in Wave
the awakenings were missing or something. I thought it was Sphinx. I think it was Sphinx. One of them, the awakenings were missing. It just said this does nothing or something. I was like, was it Sphinx? I don't know. Maybe it was another one.
I know for a fact that Sphinx's immortal thing on the awakening worked because I needed that for a star. And so I couldn't get the star until I awakened Sphinx.
Yeah, there was very little in the way of getting the immortal star. Somebody else puts up immortal, but the wording of the 2-star was off because it said places immortal. It might not have been the immortal one. There was one of them, and it was places a shield. The shield one, the barrier. So places a barrier on an ally, and every single. I went to Raven Pyros website. every single champion that placed a barrier only placed it on themselves. And I was like, you can't 2-star this. You have to place it on an ally because the stars say that. Well, guess what? Self is considered ally.
Considered an ally, yeah.
So I was able to do it. Someone said to me, just use Shishi or something and get that barrier, or maybe I used Hippolyta because I really, really wanted to get Hippolyta to work, but
yeah,
place that barrier, yeah. But the Immortal one was a sticker for sure.
I told you my goals modified. I did achieve my goal, and that was that I wanted to beat Hell Hades at his own game. So on the climb ladder, Brad went past me and I couldn't catch up to him, and I was like, dang it, if he got past me, Simon's gonna get past me. But in the end, I got to 151 before Simon did, so I achieved my goal.
I got it on day 6. It took me basically 5 days to, but remember, I'm half a day behind everyone else because of the time zone. Well,
so started at not 3 a.m.
I wasn't in a rush, let's just say. I was definitely not in a rush to get to the 151. I was keeping a loose eye on the scoreboard, whether I was still in the top 1,000. I was looking at it, I was like, yep, I'm like top 400 still. Once I got past 120, I was like, sweet, I've actually got past that first difficult hump. And then I knew that 142 was going to be a challenge. And then through the 140s, I was just going to take off and smash through it. And surprised that I got past 149 within probably about an hour of work. And
yeah, no, that's really good.
From then on, I just hit Fafnir and I went, I can do them. I've got Isis, I've got Heimdall, I've got whoever. I probably brought in Beowulf, right, to do enemy max HP.
HP hits.
Guan Yu, who I'd built for 120 for his enemy max HP. Guan Yu, very mediocre. Even with the enemy max HP, he was just too squishy. But I managed to get Guan Yu to work in a couple of places, but yeah, I think I used him to just really help. And don't know who else I used on Fafnir as my initial
bring in a bleed
test.
champ?
Probably Dracula. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I probably did bring Dracula.
For the 30 million run, you almost certainly had to have a bleed.
He would have been last man standing too, I can tell you. He would have been soloing it by the end. Dracula was just like that, man. He was.
Well, are you aware of how the best runs were done in Wave 2?
In Wave 2, no.
With the Dracula trick. So again, it's abuse of bugs and exploits. But the funniest thing, there was a comp that everybody was using and just trying to like min-max it to get a really good result. But it involved the fact that Dracula would stack unlimited bleeds. So the bleed stack would just go on forever. And then when Heimdall did retaliates, he would use the Lady Zoc buff and then get above 11%, per retaliate, because he had unlimited bleeds on him. So people were getting really good runs with it. But then I can't remember who it was, if it was Lako. I think it was Lako. Figured out that Dracula could just live and the dragon couldn't kill him, and they hadn't turn capped the dragon. And the dragon's ultimate, builds up. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's no limit to that either. So he put the Green Knight buff on Dracula, and then just let Dracula solo the fight for like 12 hours, and then came back in at hour 12 and then let Dracula die. The dragon hit itself for like 7 septillion damage or something because of the damage reflect. Yeah. So I tried to get one of those runs to work, and I got the stupid error, like your session timed out at 4 hours or whatever. And I was like, I can't keep setting this up.
Yeah, no, that's insane. That's crazy sweat work. That's some of the things people figured out with the bugs and the stacks and the unlimited whatevers, and yeah, they more or less did fix bleed for Alpha 3 though, so that was good. Seeing it stack to 11. Simon said it was 10, but it read 11 on the thing. He said it was actually 10 stacks.
Yeah. Those are my favorite things, I think, in games, is when the game is broken and people figure it out, and the community does just a bunch of ridiculous stuff, like the WoW Plague thing, right?
Hunters dismissing their pet. So for people that don't know about that, in OG WoW, so back in vanilla, there was a patch that got released for the Zul Gurub raid, which was a 20-person raid, and it reset every 3 days, I think, instead of the usual raid reset of 1 week. And the final boss was Hakar the Soulflayer, And what happened was you would kill a son of Hakar, which was this dragon snake type thing, and it would drop a poison puddle on the ground. Everybody had to grab the poison and not cleanse it off, because Hakar would do this skill where it life drained you, but take ticks from the poison damage that everybody had, so it would actually damage Hakar instead of healing it. And what happened is hunters would get their pet infected, they would dismiss their pet, and then after the raid, they would go to Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and they would call their pet, and it would just spread the plague to everyone, and there were people's level 1 bank tunes dying, and the plague just started spreading from person to person throughout the city. And they actually used it as a case study for epidemics, for how epidemics can spread, where viruses that are airborne spread from person to person, and how easily within a confined space pandemics can actually happen. So
with really a bit of a malicious bent to it.
It is, I agree, it is absolutely fun to find exploits and bugs, not malicious exploits, I'm talking things that games are not intended to have in them, right? Now Bethesda, who make the Elder Scrolls games and the Fallout games and so on, they are notorious for releasing games with special features, shall we say. They put in a lot of effort into their games, and their games are absolutely incredible and fun. And because they're so complicated and because it's so interactive, there are a lot of bugs that happen to be there. And if you take advantage of some of them, you can just have a bit of fun. And I've been streaming Skyrim recently, so
I've been seeing your no magic, no thief run. Is that what it is?
Yep. No magic skills, no thief skills, just physical skills plus speech for selling stuff. And so I've been playing this just armored guy with a shield and a mace, just
shield
smashing.
Is fun.
Yeah,
it's a fun build in Skyrim.
Yep, smashing people down and trying to. Yeah, magic users are the hardest, man. Coming up against mages that just fire massive bolts of lightning at you, you're just like, there goes half my health. But one of the exploits that I take advantage of is to kill the shopkeepers. So basically, the thing about Skyrim is that shopkeepers have limited gold. So once you've sold stuff to them and you've taken all their gold, they've got no more gold to give, and so you can't sell. Well, you can sell stuff, but you won't get anything from it, right? You got to wait 24 hours until they replenish their stock. Instead, you just quick save it, you kill them in one hit, and then you reload your game, and they've got new stock, and their gold has been replenished. So you can do that an unlimited number of times. Yeah, it's a little trick that you do with the shopkeepers. I don't know if it's PC version only, but it's still in SE, which is special edition. It's probably still an anniversary edition, I'm not sure, but it's definitely part of the game. I know it's cheating because you can get 100,000 gold easily, but what else are you going to do with your stuff? Just keep putting it
15 years old, right? It's
yeah, exactly. What else are you supposed to do with everything that you collect? You need to sell it to someone, and you can go around all the shopkeepers in a city, go to another city, go to all the shopkeepers, go to the next city, go to the next city, but you may as well just kill people.
That's the moral of the game.
You may as well kill innocent people. They only get a 40 bounty as well when you murder them. It's like, I have just bludgeoned someone to death behind their counter, and you're going to charge me 40 septims, and I've got 140,000 septims to spend. So,
or if you're Thane, you're like, look the other way.
Yeah, basically, write off my bounty for me, please. It's been a lot of fun doing a challenge like this, and I'll probably do another Skyrim challenge once I've burned out on Lemix. I'll probably leap back into Skyrim for a bit and finish off this challenge. I'll complete the main storyline, and then I'll probably spin my spinner again and choose another challenge there where you just you limit yourself in some way. It's what makes games fun, man. Challenges are what make games fun. And we so going back to WoW, so one of the things that's kept my guild alive from SOD through to now is that we do guild events about every 6 to 8 weeks, and we've done a lot of events over the time. So inside an 18-month window, we must have done probably 6 or 7 events. It actually caught people's attention, and we actually managed to get new guildies that way as well. So some of the events we did, one of the events that we did was a challenge event where I came up with a whole lot of handicaps for your playthrough, and everyone was supposed to do, I think it was the first 4 bosses of a dungeon in groups of 5, but every player had a different challenge. And one of the challenges was you're not allowed to cast spells from you're not allowed to use abilities from your bar. You have to use your spell book. You have to open your spell book and click on find it in the spell book and click on it to do your skill. And one of our healers got that as their challenge.
Oh no.
It was pretty funny. Another one was a blind playthrough, so you had to turn off your UI and you weren't allowed to see any of the skills on your bar. You just had to remember where all your keybinds were, and you couldn't see your health or anything. So I set up all these challenges for people, and people would spin the spinner and it would land on a random challenge for everybody for different playthroughs. Some of them were more significant than others. It was really fun. It's fun to do fun things in a game, and to set challenges and to do communal things. And so that's why I like the idea that with Godforge there is this idea of the pantheons, which are their guild clusters, their clan clusters. And they've been working on that. You would have seen that announcement recently where somebody has actually worked really significantly on the pantheons and got them to work, and actually got the mechanics into the dev build of the game with their pantheon system, whatever that's going to look like. Right? They said Discord integration, which I think is fantastic. If you
that's going to be fun.
If you can ping people on Discord from being in the game, a lot easier on PC. Right?
Yeah.
It's a lot easier on PC. I found it a struggle to type on my phone in Raid to try and type to people in guild chat. It's hard to do that on a mobile. And I mean, I was playing OSRS a few years ago on my mobile. I was sitting on the train and I was like farming giants or whatever in OSRS, old school RuneScape. And there were people chatting, and they're like, I think this guy's a bot. And I slowly typed out, on phone, hard to type. I was like, I'm not a bot. I'm just not talking to you guys because I'm not playing on PC. So the difference between mobile and PC is, hey, it's a lot easier to chat to people on PC.
Oh, it's so much easier to communicate. Yeah. That's how I learned to type. I learned to type from MMOs, because I took like a typing class in high school where they show you where your fingers go and all that. I never really picked it up, and I could certainly never type without looking. I always had to look at my hands. But the necessity of pre-voice chat MMOs for you to communicate was like, I got to bang this message out like as fast as possible, because
in between spells.
Yeah. Well, we only got maybe a little bit of time left, and we haven't hit my other 2 topics, which are music and culture.
Okay.
What music is, or how has music maybe been a part of your life, or what music do you care about?
So it's a mix, right? So I as I said before, I'm a Christian. I do have these times of listening to Christian rock. So Hawk Nelson, Skillet, Cutlass. I don't know if people have heard of these bands. Way back in the day, DC Talk. I remember DC Talk. Delirious was another one. Blink, not Blink.
PAX 217?
No, 38th Parallel was another one.
I don't know 38th Parallel.
POD, you ever heard of POD?
Oh yeah, good old POD.
Yeah, so POD, listen to all the mix of Christian rock, but I also listen to a lot of trance, a lot of EDM. Yep, EDM, mix of EDM and trance, and all different kinds of trance, like jungle trance, Afro trance, house. I like house, and I always come back to Infected Mushroom.
Interesting.
So,
it's a genre that I don't know much about. Like, I would say the extent of my electronica was getting into Prodigy for a while, and then dubstep and Skrillex, and that's kind of like what I know.
Yeah, I'm not a big dubstep fan. I don't like the disjointed nature of it. But I'm a big Infected Mushroom fan. They've been around for many years, and they continue to put out content and remixes and that. And I can usually recognize an Infected Mushroom song when I hear it. Yeah.
So is it, for you personally, do you prefer, if you're not going to listen to like Christian rock, that the music that you listen to just not have lyrics?
No,
like
not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily. I do listen to contemporary stuff, like Walking on Cars.
I don't know Walking on Cars.
Okay, a few of these solo deals, like James May, if I feel like really mellow stuff. Just all sorts of... I mean, I like Imagine Dragons and One Republic, and that's all mainstream stuff. And sometimes I like to just listen to that because it's pretty low key and it's really quite mellow. But then I'll just turn on some trance after that. Go back to some sort of trance mix. Like when I'm mowing the lawns, I normally have some sort of trance track playing.
Is it like that's your background music? Like that's what you want as a soundtrack to whatever you're doing, just otherwise?
Yeah, usually it is that, and sometimes, like I said, I'll just switch on one of these just contemporary rock bands and just listen to a mix of whatever. You know, it might be a playlist that has a mix of different bands that Spotify decides to just pull together. But yeah, it's a range. Yeah.
Did you ever hear of a Christian band called Five Iron Frenzy?
No.
Ska band.
Oh, the ska.
Yeah, they founded the church that I went to in Denver whenever I lived in Denver, so I got to know a lot of them pretty well.
Oh, cool.
They're
Five
good
Iron
people.
Frenzy. Cool.
Yeah. If you get a ska bug in your ear, pick up them and give them a listen.
I'm not averse to ska, I have to say. Not averse to it, so yeah, it's a possibility for sure.
The thing about dubstep, you were saying you don't like the disjointed nature of it. I think that's what draws me to it. The first time I heard it, I thought that it was just like electronica remixes of metal music, and I was completely uninterested. I was like, I don't care about this at all. But then I heard one of Skrillex's songs that was on like one of those Dance Dance Revolution games. So you were like having to dance to it, and I was like, how do you dance to this? But I became like fascinated with it because I like progressive rock, and progressive rock, makes my brain go. So the dubstep kind of makes my brain go, and then I start to like laugh at things that they do that are just like surprise, in the middle of the song.
Yeah. Right. No, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know why I don't really like dubstep, but
a lot of people don't. I think it was like a bottle rocket. Like it shot up and blew up, and then nobody cared anymore.
Yeah, I remember when I was doing my bachelor's degree, and so I was in my mid to late 20s. I did it quite late because I kept going study, work, and then I eventually went, that's it, I have a goal, I need to do my degree. I did it in 2 years because I already had a whole lot of credits towards it, and I'd worked it out with the dean and that I can finish my full bachelor's degree in 2 years. And I met this guy, and he was so much into dubstep. He was trying to convince us all that dubstep is that this is in 2006 or 2007, right? And he's like, dubstep is the big thing, it's so good and it'll get your brain going. And yeah, it was actually there were a lot of students when I was at uni, both times actually. All 3 times, but the first 2 times I went to 2 different universities, and I wasn't necessarily the youngest person in my class either. I mean, sorry, the oldest person in my class. There weren't just 19, 20-year-olds. There were also people in their 30s and people in their 40s, and I became friends. First time I went to uni, I was 18, 19. I'd been out of high school for a full year. I'd worked for a year to save up to buy a motorbike, because that was my goal. And then I went to uni, and I became friends with a dude who must have been in his mid to late 30s, and another guy who was same age as us, as me, like 19, 20. And there was such a range of people, and university, in my experience, was like that. It was not just for high school graduates. It was people coming back to restudy or to pick up new skills or to carry on with something, or to prepare themselves for a complete shift in what they were aiming for in life.
Was that in New Zealand, the university you went to?
Yeah, all of them. So I went to I went to one. I live in Wellington, which is the capital city, and there's a university that that is based about 2 hours north of us, but they formed a campus. They merged with another campus in Wellington City, and so I went to that one first of all, way back in 1999 to 2000, and then I dropped out because I just could not focus on what I was doing. I was
just wanted that motorbike.
I already had it.
Oh, you already had the motorbike.
Yeah. I did it before. I did it post high school. I got
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I just couldn't complete it because it was too businessy, and I hated accounting, and I hated economics, and I hated the business side and the marketing side, and I was just like, this just does not ring true for me. So I left. I just left it. I just quit, and I didn't carry any of the credits or anything. But I think that was part of what led to the credits towards my degree when I did my bachelor's 8 years later or whatever. So, well, it was probably 6 years later ultimately. But yeah, I ended up going to Victoria University, which is actually the main 150-year-old solid university. That's Wellington's university, is Victoria. Okay. So that was the one I went to, and then I did a postgrad like many years later. Yeah.
Is it like it is here, where you tend to go to the one that's closest to you? Like
no,
for instance, in the United States, no, we have the situation called out of state. So your tuition is different if you are like from Arizona and you go to college in California. You pay more than a Californian would.
Right.
So it tries to encourage people to stay in the state that they're from.
Yeah.
But is it like that at all?
That's only the case for overseas students. So overseas students will pay a levy, which is pretty high, and that's how universities get a lot of their funding. It's through philanthropy, and it's through student fees.
Through philanthropy.
I think so. Yeah, they have these philanthropic drives for donations and whatnot for the universities.
Not for them to give money, but for them to build a new building and all that.
To receive money.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, people go to the university that is known for specializing in what they're aiming for. So for example, if someone wanted to go into medicine, they'd go way down south to Otago University, which is down in Dunedin, which is one of our southernmost cities down on the South Island. So it's closer to Antarctica, which means it's colder. When you go south, it gets cold. All right. When you go north, it gets beautiful and warm. So, so that's what people do, is they think, what is the thing that I want to focus on? Therefore, I will go here. Or I want a complete city change. I'm going to go I live on the South Island, but I'm going to go to Auckland, which is on the North Island. It's the biggest city in New Zealand. It has 1.5 million people, which is pretty small, but
pretty small for the biggest city. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the biggest city. They're probably up to 2 million for the Auckland area now, but I mean, people will go. I like the idea of Auckland University. Actually, I had a friend, a Japanese guy. He was studying law, and we met way back when I was originally at university. Not originally, when I was doing my degree, my bachelor's degree in my mid-20s. And he was on and off studying law, went back to Japan, came back. He came back to New Zealand. I was like, oh, dude, did you go back to Victoria University? He's like, no, I decided to go to Auckland to finish it, because I hate the wind in Wellington.
Oh.
It's like, I don't like the weather down there. I was like, bro. Yeah.
Way to make the decision there.
Yeah, it was weather based. So everyone has a different reason for going to a different university. But yeah, we have a handful of major universities here, and the 4 main cities have their main universities, and then there is that other main one that I talked about. There's about 2 hours north of here that has campuses here in Wellington. So yeah. Yeah, as far as I know, there are five major universities here. 5
in New Zealand. We had talked a little bit on chat, about getting together, and I was saying I was a huge fan of New Zealand humor. I think it's probably like all the best stuff from the last probably 10 years has been New Zealand humor to me. And it's like the beached whale videos. Beached as, yeah. Neck Minute, Ghost Chips. The whole Ghost Chips thing. Obviously Taika Waititi and What We Do in the Shadows, but I actually like Wellington Paranormal more than What We Do in the Shadows. And it's that matter of factness. You know, just that matter of fact, kind of almost deadpan, but still like an animated, fast way of talking.
Yeah. The deadpan stuff's great.
It's so good, man.
It's very British too.
Funny culture. It's the funniest people, man. I don't know what it is. I love it. There's the Beach Daz guys had a little group for a little while called the Hansamity Institute, and they put out a video that was Sam Neill auditions for Beach Daz, and I guess they themselves are Australian.
I think they are.
And Sam Neill's New Zealand.
Kiwi,
they're trying to, the whole gag in the video, it's like 10 minutes long, but the whole gag is them trying to tell him how to sound like he's from New Zealand based on their accents that they do with the whale.
That sounds just like Kiwi humor. That's and I liken it to British humor. So I grew up with a lot of British programs, Monty Python and Dad's Army and Frank Spencer. Some mothers do have him, and I love British humor.
Did you get into Mighty Boosh at all?
No, I don't think so. Is that Nick Frost and Simon Pegg?
Noel Fielding, maybe Nick Frost. I don't know all of them. James, who's the guy that's in What We Do in the Shadows now? Who's incredibly popular?
That is Jermaine Clement, isn't he?
In the movie, yeah. I meant the TV show.
The movie.
Sorry.
I haven't seen the TV show.
Matt Berry. Matt Berry was in Mighty Boosh. But that's where Old Greg comes from, like if you've seen the Old Greg video.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, man. Oh, you got to look these things up.
I will. I will.
Fox.
I'll have to
They
look.
might be a bit crude, fair warning, but...
No, I really like... what is it? TLDL? Is that what it's called?
TLDL.
Is it TLDL? No, it's what's it called? It's the Kiwi skit people who pretend that they're in a game, but it's live action, but they're in a fantasy game. Is it VLDL? Sorry, VLDL, Viva La Dirt League. So Viva La Dirt League. Have you not seen Viva La Dirt?
No, I don't know this. Now you got me.
Yeah, Viva La Dirt League, VLDL. That's it. So they are absolutely hilarious.
All right, yeah. Add
Hello,
this to
adventurer.
my list. Do you, as a streamer and being in New Zealand, do you ever watch Quinn?
I see that Quinn always has 10,000 plus viewers. So
he's popping off.
I want to know how he does it, because isn't he pretty toxic? I mean...
Well, I think he's like a meme of himself now. So there was a period of time, and like in Megabonk, the developer added Quinn's mask as a joke because of his whole thing about, I can't remember what the quote was, you either win or you are a clown or something like that. But he is way more mellow now, and all of the like yelling and stuff is like to be funny. But his friends shot a documentary about him, and it is hilarious. It's like,
I can imagine. It's
a take on Wanganui as much as it's a take on Quinn and his like shut-in streamer lifestyle.
My cousin lives in Wanganui, and I've been there, so I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be as big as Quinn. He is the biggest Kiwi streamer that I am aware of. I have tuned in once or twice just to see what it was all about, and sort of went, not really my jam. His chat was pumping. It was really busy, and
it's a waterfall.
I prefer sort of low key streamers that are really down to earth. So there's a WoW streamer called Zayu, and he's such a nice guy, but he really took off after he did. So he was a PvPer, and he did some really really cool, really skillful PvP plays back when he was going for the Gladiator titles in. It was probably around 2015-16, so around when Legion came out, I think, was when he really started to take off in terms of his PvP play, and some of his videos just skyrocketed in terms of views. And then he was streaming and became a full-time streamer, and he did the hardcore challenge, and he did the official hardcore stuff. And when Blizzard released Plunderstorm, which is based on WoW, but is one of those games that's, I'm not sure what it's similar to, because I haven't seen another game like it. Maybe it's similar to League of Legends. I don't know what League of Legends is actually. I've never seen League of Legends, so I don't know what a MOBA I don't know what a MOBA actually is. But yeah, Plunderstorm was this totally different take on WoW, where the map shrinks over time, and you have to pick power-ups up, and you have to try and use them to upskill yourself, and then it's a free-for-all, and so you're fighting against all these other people until there are two left standing, and whoever wins the map. And it was really fast-paced.
Fortnite style, like Battle Royale.
Battle Royale, that's it. It's a Battle Royale. And so it was it's very fast-paced, and he's really good at it because he's very good at PvP. And so I would tune in when Zayu was playing Plunderstorm, and when he was doing the hardcore challenge, and he had thousands of viewers, like a WoW player and streamer who has thousands of viewers. And that's kind of my dream, is to have, more than 2 people watching my stream.
Oh, you'll get more than 2. I think we're all going to be real busy that first week of Godforge beta. I'll tell you that.
Beta's not till next year, though, man. Until then, I've got to really buckle down and just start putting some time into improving my stream, but also doing some more videos, because I've sort of eased off since Alpha 3. And if they release what they call CC leaks, they're not actually, I don't know why they're calling them CC leaks. I'm renaming them because it's not leaking. It's not leaking anything. They're giving it to us to put some content together to provide for people. It's actually a showcase. So I'm treating them as a showcase. So the last one is Sun Wukong, and I put that out when it released. So I try to make the video with time to spare, make my thumbnail, get it ready, get it uploaded the night before, ready to go live at the date that they want us to release it.
And set the release time.
Yes, I set the schedule. So Sun Wukong, and before that we've had lots of other showcases that we've been able to go through. They gave us a lot of content for Sun Wukong, and I know the other CCs, they do all sorts of fancy stuff with the content. I'm just talking about it. I'm just like, I love what they've done with the model. I like the intricacies, and I like the patterns on that and the colors, and I just really like how we've got to see this, and hey, these are the skills and how those skills going to actually work, and that's about it. I don't go on and on about other stuff, but I really do need to put in some time to get some more Godforge videos together, because I did start a series. I don't know if you're aware of this, but I did start a series that was basically looking at each of the factions and comparing them with the real world mythologies, because I'm a big mythology fan, and I actually have stored away somewhere in a forgotten box all of these Egyptian sculptures in these glass domes. I collected this full collection of Egyptian sculptures, these little ones inside these little glass domes. They might be worth like $10 each now or something. I don't know, but I've always loved mythology, and my dad was into Egyptian mythology and stuff, and had a couple of books on it. And so I actually managed to find one of my dad's old books, because he doesn't live in New Zealand, he lives overseas, but he left everything in storage, and his sister and me and I think it was one of my brothers, we helped clear out his storage unit, and I was sort of filtering his books, right? And I came across this Egyptian book, and I was like, that's so cool, because I immediately thought of Godforge, and I was looking through the book, and it's so different to looking things up and asking AI to open this hardback book of Egyptian stuff. And it was like, whenever the book was made, 1960 something, 1970 something, it's just these amazing pictures and dig sites and that. So mythology, really cool. Norse mythology, Egyptian mythology, not so much Japanese mythology, even though I speak Japanese and lived in Japan. And I lived in Japan. So I love. I think that the Izumo are my favorite faction in Godforge, because I have a real affiliation with Japan and Japanese mythology in that. I just don't know much about it. So I mean, I found it hard to remember a lot of the Japanese mythology stuff.
It's not a common one, right? I mean, like if you watch a lot of Japanese cinema and you come across concepts and terms, but like you do, even though I'm tertiarily aware of like Shinto and stuff like that, I've never deep dived it, and a lot of that is completely lost on me. Yeah.
So I drew comparisons or parallels between some of the stuff that's happening. So we did this showcase of one of the gods, Raiden, I think it is, and he's the lightning god, and he has these drums in this big circle around him. What are they called? Tsuzumi. So those drums are called Tsuzumi, and there was an episode of Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer, and there was one of the demons in it, and he had these drums, these tsuzumi all around him, and he was banging them, and it was changing the perspective of the floor of the room and stuff. And so I used a few clips from Kimetsu no Yaiba. I used some of the clips from that in my video when we were showcasing Raiden, because I drew the comparison between these tsuzumi that this demon was using and the fact that this guy has these drums all around him as part of this mythology, which is really cool. Yeah.
No, you should totally
Dragon Ball Z. I use Dragon Ball Z as well. So, not Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z, because in Japanese it's Dragon Ball Z. So,
okay.
Yeah.
The Z is the Americanized.
Exactly.
take.
And of course, it was dubbed into English with all American stuff. And so everyone I knew called it Dragon Ball Z, even here, even though we know the letter as a Z. Which doesn't make a lot of sense because everything else rhymes with B, C, D, E, right? When you get to Z, why are we saying Z, not Z? I don't know. I don't make this stuff up. I just follow the rules, man. But yeah, I used some clips from Dragon Ball Z with the Oni when he falls off Snake Way and he falls down into I guess it's supposed to be hell or the in between or the afterlife or whatever. And there are these two Oni, this blue one and this red one. And so yeah, when I was talking about the Oni. For some reason, whatever, when they showed the Oni, I used the Dragon Ball Z clip of Goku trying to trick them. So just trying to show things from Japanese anime and whatnot to kind of tie in with the Izumo, the faction there. So yeah.
No, I'd get back on that for sure. I know Sage is doing one that's like per hero. So like who was Shamash and who was Pangu and all that. Yeah. But
that's crazy.
That's a long-term project. But
mine's
that's really cool.
Yeah, so I got up to Avalon and I sort of need to just sit down and go, whoa, who is either Agoch and who was the Green Knight? I know who the Green Knight was because I know the story of Gawain and the Green Knight. I actually studied Middle English a little bit at university for my degree, my undergrad. So it'd be really cool to look into the Avalon stuff because I'm a big fan of Celtic mythology because my ancestors were Celts. So
okay, the
Celts.
How many generations New Zealand are you?
About sixth. My ancestors have been here since the dawn of New Zealand, basically. So our country was founded in 1840. When there was a treaty was drawn up between a lot of the Maori chiefs and the settlers here, the governor, and that's basically the founding of our country is 1840. My ancestors have been here since 1860. So yeah, my great-great-grandfather...
Celts, I thought you were going way back. Like,
no. I just say that as a joke because I do have Scottish heritage in the past.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so Scottish Celts... Maybe Irish in some way, I'm not sure. To be sure. but I have Danish ancestry as well, so that's the Vikings. So the Vikings plus the Celts come together, and that's where I come from. So
we share a potential Scottish heritage then. Yeah, because mine's all Scottish, though we've been in the States for forever. But I've been to Scotland twice now, and I was telling AJ and Kurzad that it's like every time I go to the UK, I just go to Scotland. Like I've never actually dipped down into England or gone over to Ireland. So next time I go, I'm gonna have to finally see the rest of the islands.
Definitely, yeah. I haven't even been to Europe. I've been to nowhere in Europe. I've been all around the world.
Such a long flight, right?
But yeah, it is a long way to go. I've just never had the opportunity to do it. I've been to 7 countries, and not one of them is a European country.
We've been to the top 2 on my list: Japan and New Zealand.
Well, New Zealand is always open for visitors, and there's a lot to do here in terms of natural stuff. And if you're into outdoors stuff, then it's a really, really nice place to come. Even if you're not, come to Wellington or go to Auckland or tour around, go down to Christchurch, whatever. And they're all very different from each other. And the people are, I don't know, nice, maybe. depends who you bump into, maybe.
Hilarious.
As soon as people hear an American accent, they will chat. They will go,
really?
What part of America are you from? Blah blah blah. Yeah, of course. Anyone with an accent, right?
Nice.
Unless they're a Kiwi who's parents brought them here as a child and they still have a bit of an accent, they're very Kiwi still, in which case, you know, they don't have overseas stories to tell, but, you know, people want to hear about what's happening, you know, in people's lives from the rest of the world. And, you know, if someone's an Aussie, they'll probably make fun of them, but, you know, it is what it is.
That's such a fun, like, beat each other up relationship. I love that, like, Aussie New Zealand kind of good faith butting of heads.
Oh yeah, know? Oh absolutely. Like, we rib each other in our guild all the time because I'm the guild leader and I'm a Kiwi, and 90% of them are Aussies. So I'm surrounded by these hardcore Australians of all different age ranges, and, you know, both male and female, and they've got, you know, slightly different Australian accents and whatnot, and the time zone's slightly different, but, you know, I give them guff when I can, and they give me a hard time for A, being their leader, and B, being a Kiwi. So
there was that another one of those, like, humorous sketches. I don't know what show it was on, but it's a commercial, and it starts out like 100% pure New Zealand, and it's just flyovers of, like, beautiful country. And I think it was parodying a real tourist commercial that went around that was, like, pure New Zealand. But as it like devolves, it's like 100% no Air Force, 100% something else, and then it's like 100% there for the taking, and then AC/DC starts playing and, like, explosions go off.
That sounds pretty fun. Yeah, that's interesting. Are you familiar with Rhys Darby?
Yes, yeah. We watched his stand-up recently, and then we watched, what is it? It's not Black Flag. Is that the name of his show? The pirate show that he did?
I can't remember. I don't think I've seen it anyway.
Loved him on Flight of the Conchords.
Yes. He's so hard case, as we say. He's a funny man. Yeah.
There's a few things that I say where it's like, I'm just copying him, but I do have to put the accent on. So, like, when we're around friends, I'll say, like, oh, Brit, like, all the time. Brit.
Yeah. Flight of the Conchords is definitely classic. It's definitely classic, yeah.
But yeah, pitch the Twitch schedule.
Yeah, so basically I was twitching. I was streaming Twitch and YouTube from my morning through till early evening, so late afternoon, with a lunch break in between. So it would be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. my time, and then 1 to 1:30 break, and then 1:30 to 4:30. So it was 3 hours and 3 hours. So I've cut off the afternoon part of it because I've started making a computer game.
Oh, cool.
So I have started working on a fantasy RPG.
Very cool. Do you code yourself, or are you using AI? Is it a combination?
Both.
Learning?
Both. Yep. I'm learning to code using AI, coding. Barely done any coding so far, but I've got the basics of it in Unity now, and I've got an 80-page design document I've drawn up, and yeah, I've really just started putting all this time into this computer game in my afternoons now. So that's my afternoon schedule instead of a 6-hour Twitch window.
Interesting.
Streaming window, a 3-hour window, and then lunch, and then trying to focus on working on this game. Yeah.
If you do a second channel, maybe if you're trying to keep the one Godforge focus, you should upload some videos about making the game, because that's what Vednad did for Megabonk, and now it's like, you know, a hit sensation. So
yeah, maybe a dev diary. I'd have to.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd have to think about that. But yeah, that's basically all I've got time for.
All right. Well, hey, thanks, Gecko, for joining us today. Really appreciate your time. Enjoy your future Thursday afternoon as it gets dark here. And
yeah,
we'll see you next time, man. For everybody else, peace.